okay, it's me. I know you didn't mean to hurt me. You shouldn't have done that!
It has been more than 5 years since we've seen a new Resident Evil game. It has been quite some time too since I last enjoyed playing one. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Resident Evil 5, no matter how absurd your idea of punching a rock to form a bridge is. But I digress. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is a step to a whole new different direction by making a first-person shooter? Not quite. A genre which is popularized by other noteworthy survival horror games like Amnesia and Outlast. And oh boy, I haven't had this much fun playing survival horror games in years.
Hey, it's Ethan.
Oh, hey. You alright? You just disappeared the other night.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. It's Mia. She's not dead, she's alive. She's back.
They found her?
Instead of solving a global bioterror threat of the last main series games, and without the familiar characters like Chris and Leon, you play as a new character, Ethan Winters, who mysteriously receives an email from his wife, Mia, who has been missing and presumed dead in the last 3 years. This takes him to the fictional setting of Dulvey, Louisiana, and finds a derelict mansion where things aren't as they seem. Setting the game in first person and having you confined within the tight setting of the manor is a much welcome change to the franchise, as it gives that sense of dread, suspense, and claustrophobia that the original game was known for. The great use of space, corners, and lighting keeps you guessing and alert for any potential jump scare that's ready to pounce on your every move. The RE7 brings the franchise back to its true genre, the survival horror. The classic Resident Evil puzzles are back, with tons of locked doors in the Baker Mansion to open. Supplies and ammo are scarce, and there are sections that are better off played in stealth, such as sequences wherein you're being chased around by the Bakers. This approach gives you that sense of complete helplessness. The boss fights are insane and can get creative at times, especially the earlier ones. The fights happen in tight spaces, leaving you very little room between you and the boss. Your guns early on are no match against the Bakers and will rely on you to take advantage of items or things lying around the room. Speaking of the Bakers, storytelling and character development are the big wins of this game. By focusing the setting on the Baker compound and with very minimal character count, the story is kept focused, tight, and with a clear, fulfilling resolution at the end. Well, depending on a crucial choice you make. VHS tapes, hello 90s kids, also aid in storytelling a la found footage horror film genre, telling smaller stories about other characters in the game. And if you played the Kitchen VR demo and the Beginning Hour demo, you'll find that they are linked and all support the main narrative of Resident Evil 7. RE7 is not without pitfalls though. Since the story is focused on Ethan and Mia, no apparent link to the previous games are established, except for a quick scene in the ending, which left me with more questions than answers actually. Hopefully this will be closed later on by an upcoming free DLC story, not a hero. Enemy variety, like ammo and supplies, are scarce. Also, it's a tad bit short with me clocking in a total playtime of around 7 hours 41 minutes for my first playthrough. But what really makes it a fun game to play? Well, its inherent weirdness is also a key factor in making this such a fun game, really. Right after one boss fight, your hand gets cut and you're forced to watch Ethan continue on without a hand and leading eventually to that scene where you beat that boss. It's these weird moments that make you want to say WTF. Oh, and let's not even start with that creepy old lady. She stares at you wherever you are and just suddenly appears every now and then. But the ultimate RE7 experience undeniably is the VR mode. It's the exact full game and you can play through the entire game with the PSVR on. It's a much more terrifying experience by putting you literally in the shoes of Ethan. But due to the hardware limitations, the VR mode's textures aren't rendered as beautifully as a basic experience and suffers from tons of aliasing. And in VR mode, turning requires you to push the analog stick, and some of the movement sequences cutting to black and back, making it a nauseating experience at times. Lastly, aiming requires you to tilt your head to move the crosshairs, which is a hell of a tough thing to do. Nevertheless, the claustrophobia-inducing effect ramps up the fear and suspense level way up despite these. Overall, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is a refreshing, fun, and terrifying experience. Taking a back-to-basics approach on survival horror, RE7 captures the exact same feeling of helplessness in the original games. The constant feeling of dread, suspense, coupled with jump scares just waiting to pounce on you will keep you on your toes. Plus, strap on a VR headset and I dare say that RE7 is the best VR horror experience to date yet, at least for the PS4. Overall, it's a great comeback and a welcome step to a bold new direction for a beloved horror franchise.
Welcome to the family, son.